give you guys some updates on what's been going on and let you know I'm still here. And I do plan on getting back to basics and getting back to doing what I'm good at. And I kind of wanted to let you guys in on what's been going on in my personal world over the last few weeks. Um, September 10th was a difficult day for me. It's my sister's birthday on September 10th, but when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, it was pretty rough. Um, it was it was pretty rough for me to watch somebody that I admire like Charlie and somebody that I not necessarily look up to, but I had a lot of admiration for what he was doing and his mission in life, and I believed in Charlie, and it was very difficult for me to go through those things, and it seemed like I was kind of going through them alone, even though most of the world was right there with me. I guess um, the reactions on social media were just horrible, and they still are. It's still going after a couple weeks. It's nonsense, guys. We got to come together and sometimes you just got to agree to disagree and move on from that. But personally, it hit me really hard because you know uh, Charlie Kirk was not only was he a father and a husband, but he was a role model for millions of people. And just to be cut down like that in a very public setting was hard to stomach. And if we could, I want everybody to just get along and not hate each other. Is that too much to ask, guys? You know, I know we're not all going to agree on everything. It's pretty hard to agree on everything. Even those you're the most closest with, you're not going to agree on everything. But that doesn't mean we go and shoot each other in the streets, man. It doesn't mean we call for violence on other people that have opposing views. And that's essentially where my mind's been at over the last couple of weeks. I'm I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm sad. You know, and I know there's a lot of people out there that feel just like me. It affected my ability to just go to work, guys. And that's why I'm giving this update now is because I ran out of content. uh, I ran out of interviews. I ran out of things to talk about for a while because I had to back away from social media. I had to get off of social media. I found it very disheartening that people were attacking each other. People were, and they still are. People are upset and mad about right and left things, and this isn't a right and left thing. This is about humans, and we're all human. I uh, I needed to take a break and get away for a little bit, but I'm back, and I've got some content coming up that's going to be good for everybody. I got some interviews that I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to have my friend Lindley on tomorrow. Um, um, we're going to put that out next week, I think, if everything goes well. Um, I'm pretty excited about the direction the podcast is turning now. I lost motivation for a minute. I know. Hey, free thinker. It took me. Yeah, actually, this is about a 2 year growth on the beard. I had it trimmed about 2 years ago, but it's not that big. It's not that long. It looks longer because the the angle that I've got, but about 2 years of growth without being trimmed. I appreciate you asking. That's pretty awesome. Uh, but like I was saying, for me to take a step back, that means that I had to it means that I had to essentially stop communicating with the people that I needed to communicate to keep the show going. So, like I said, I'm back now. I appreciate all of you hanging with me and sticking through here. And you know, a lot of people are watching the content now. A lot of people are listening to content. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging with me and doing the things that viewers do, liking and subscribing and sharing that content. I love that. Um, I appreciate all the people that have reached out and asked me, "Hey, are you okay?" And uh, I am okay. This too shall pass. Uh, Ashley Stripling, what am I doing? I'm just sitting here in my backyard, just kind of going live so I could talk to everybody and tell everybody the what's going on with my podcast and kind of update everyone on where my head's been at over the last couple weeks. My headspace has been kind of hurting. I'm angry and upset over the last couple weeks because of the politics and national stuff going on worldwide. Could be going to World War III. You know, it's kind of scary. I try not to pay attention too much of that stuff because, man, if you get too much into it, you're just gonna be pissed off all day, and I don't want to be pissed off all day. I want to be happy. I mean, I'm sure everybody wants to be happy, right? But thank you for asking, Ashley. I appreciate all the love and support and all the views. I really appreciate you guys. If if any of you guys listening out there, you got a story to tell, you want to be on the podcast, reach out. I've got an email in the description above the podcast there. Um, I'd really appreciate some feedback as well. Constructive, bad, good, whatever. Feedback is feedback, right? Anything that I can do to improve the product, that's what I'm going to do. Uh, yeah, I'm. You know, talking about national politics and talking about Charlie Kirk, your space. Uh, you're in Russia. You know, I got a special love in my heart for people in Russia, for people all over the world. But right now, I think the tensions that are between our two countries is kind of crazy. I'm in the United States. I want peace. I'm for peace. I, hey, Domina P. Hey, Dalmina P. Hello. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I'm just giving the audience an update on, you know, how things are going with the podcast and my personal life. Uh, Pretty sad over the Charlie Kirk situation. Pretty sad over national world politics, geopolitics. I hate that we're we're at loggerheads all the time. I don't like. I love love. You know, I don't like conflict. I don't like war. War is terrible, and I don't. I want peace, and I strive for peace, and that's what I'm doing this for. I really want to engage in open dialogue, open and honest dialogue with people, and get the conversation started about how do we proceed from here, right? We know we're angry at each other. We know we don't agree on a whole lot of things, but how do we proceed from here? How do we go farther or, than where we are right now without hate, without violence? I think if we could just talk to one another and hash out our differences through words and not anger and violence. What's Russia like? Your space. Is Russia is Russia as terrible as the politicians make it seem, or Uh, thank you, your space. Thank you. Love from the United States, brother. That's amazing. I've never gone live from my mobile before. I'm gonna have to do this more often. You guys are pretty great. I I'm glad I did this. I needed some time to think. So I took a couple weeks, and but now I'm back. And is there any other creators you guys want to hear from? Is there any people you think I might have on my podcast? Anybody I ought to reach out to? Even if it's just regular people. That's what I'm here for. Regular people, regular talk. Get the conversation started between normal, everyday people. Not the extreme left, not the extreme right, not the extreme center either. Just normal people. Because I think we have all got a lot in common. It's just we dehumanize each other with social media. We dehumanize each other on television. Politics is extremely divisive these days, and I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody is so mad at each other all the time. I think we could all just be a little nicer to one another, and think about things before we say them. I have to do that all the time on the podcast, right? I have to consider someday I will learn English to come to your country and visit. I want to tell the world. Thank you. Thank you, my space, or your space. Your space. Uh, Hi, Caleb. What are you doing? My son's in the chat, guys. That's awesome. I love you guys. I love doing the podcast too, and it's so amazing to me the amount of people that I reach, and the amount of people whose opinions have been changed just by something I've said. Working hard. Love to see the live events. Hi, everybody. My wife's in the chat too. Hi, babe. I love you. Gosh, something that's really amazing about the podcast. Something that's changed over over the years that I've been doing the podcast is the amount of people that I have to talk to, right? The amount of people that reach out to me uh, to be on the podcast, or just to say hey, and sometimes they just reach out because I had a podcast that a guest had said something, and they had agreed with or disagreed with, and that's a big pot. Hey, Bella. Hi. Welcome, everybody. uh, trying to gather your thoughts, right, and spew them out here on the live while you got the words right in front of you. You got commenters comment. I don't want to ignore all the commenters. I appreciate everybody, and thanks for showing up and showing out. If we could do, like the amount of people, I was just saying, the amount of people that reach out to me do the podcast, uh, and the amount of people who's been impacted positively by the podcast. They say I've gotten lots of emails and messages about, hey, that thing that you said that one time, I really resonated with that, and it really hit home for me. I feel, I'm not alone, and you're with me, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I do this for. I do this to share my love with everybody else, right? I appreciate everybody that's come along for the ride, everybody that's helped out. Shout out to my wife, who's my editor. You guys see her on the podcast all the time, and she really makes this thing go, and I really appreciate her. I hope she knows that. I know she's listening right now, but I really appreciate everything that everybody does to keep the podcast going, including poking me with a stick when I don't want to get moving, try to motivate me to see what I can't see on my own, and pointing out that I do have an audience, I do have people that care. And then, I do have the people that are listening, and I appreciate all of you guys. So, to get on with the podcast updates, I do have a couple of interviews scheduled and lined up that I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to have Angela Caldwell back on the show in just a week or two. We've got some things planned out that I'm going to have a couple friends on the podcast. We're going to reach out to, I'm going to try to get Mike Baker for CIA. I'm going to try to reach out to Mike Baker and get him on. I'd like to have a conversation with that guy. I'd like to also, there's a guy, I'm really kind of apprehensive about reaching out to him because he's an academic and he's a professor, but Victor Davis Hanson, I'd like to have a conversation with that guy and pick his brain a little bit. He's a fantastic resource of information and opinion. And he's a professor at Hillsdale College, which, shout out Hillsdale. Look at, I've got this great view out here, guys. I've got this great view, and it's so hard to stay motivated when you got rolling hills like this and you're just enjoying life. It's hard to stay motivated to do anything but kind of enjoy things, I guess. But I'm going to try to reach out to some bigger names, some bigger opinions. In the comments down below, or just reach out to my email. If you guys want to hear from anybody in particular, reach out. We'll get them on. We'll try to do some more things that are not just my personal likes, I guess. My things that I like to talk about. We're gonna try to get outside my bubble, and I want to learn about things. I want to learn about all kinds of things that I don't know about. Interesting things. I would like to learn more about what you guys find interesting and more about people in general. With that, I feel like I'm just kind of rambling on here, so this has been fun, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a few minutes. But we're still here, we're still going, and we're going to get back to regular scheduled programming on Tuesday of this week. We're going to be back to the regular schedule and releasing podcasts. And we had some technical difficulties on Friday. We actually had some technical difficulties on the Tuesday before that. We still don't have, there's an episode that the last episode that we put up on Tuesday didn't get put up out on Spotify, so it's not everywhere, and I still have to figure that out. I'm not sure what happened there, but thank you. My beard does look fabulous, doesn't it? I got that, look at like gray hair right here. I'm getting old. But yeah, I like I said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I feel like I'm rambling here. I'm just out here talking to myself. It feels like, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll see you guys. Oh, wait a minute. I have to figure out how to shut this thing off now. That's funny. How do you end YouTube lives, guys? Because I have no idea. You know what? I'm going to try this little X button. See you guys next time.